Is the world closing its doors? Have you ever dreamt of living abroad, building a life in a new country, and embracing its culture and opportunities? For millions of Indians, this dream has been a reality for decades. However, as we step into 2025, a pressing question emerges. Is the world becoming less welcoming to Indian migrants? Are once thriving job markets now shutting their doors to foreign workers? Why are so many Indians being forced to return home? The landscape of global migration is changing rapidly. Countries that once actively sought skilled professionals and laborers from India are now tightening their immigration policies, prioritizing their local workforce, and increasing the cost of living to levels that make staying abroad unsustainable. Whether due to stricter visa regulations, economic downturns, or rising nationalism, many Indian expats find themselves at a crossroads, wondering if repatriation is their best option. In this guide, we'll explore the top 10 countries where Indian migrants are facing challenges in 2025, forcing them to reconsider their future abroad. Let's take a deep dive into these nations, uncovering the reasons behind these shifts and what it means for Indians living and working there. Malaysia, a waning welcome for Indian workers. Once a hub for Indian laborers, Malaysia is now becoming a less viable option for migrants. The country is focusing on reducing its reliance on foreign labor, particularly in construction and manufacturing, where Indian workers have historically played a key role. New immigration policies in Malaysia have led to stricter work permit regulations, making it increasingly difficult for foreign nationals to renew their visas. The government is also pushing for more job opportunities for Malaysians, meaning many Indian workers are finding themselves without stable employment. Combined with rising living costs in cities like Kuala Lumpur, many Indians are choosing to return home, where job prospects in sectors like technology and finance are growing. South Africa, a tougher climate for foreigners. The once welcoming South Africa is now seeing a rise in anti-immigrant sentiment, making it harder for Indian nationals to settle and work there. High unemployment rates and a struggling economy have led to policies that prioritize local workers over foreign professionals, limiting job opportunities for Indian expats. Beyond job market struggles, safety concerns have become a significant factor pushing Indians to leave. Crime rates in certain areas have made it difficult for migrants to feel secure, leading many to consider repatriation as a safer alternative. With India's economy booming, returning home offers stability, career growth, and peace of mind. Singapore, closing the door on foreign talent. Singapore, often considered an economic paradise, is no longer the haven it once was for Indian professionals. The government has been tightening its Employment Pass (EP) system, making it more difficult for foreign workers to secure long-term positions in fields like technology, finance, and healthcare. Additionally, the cost of living in Singapore is skyrocketing, with soaring rent and everyday expenses making life increasingly difficult. While Singapore remains a global business hub, the combination of visa restrictions and financial strain is leading many Indians to reconsider their options. With India's tech industry on the rise, returning home is now a more attractive prospect than ever. Qatar, a post-World Cup slowdown. Qatar, which heavily relied on foreign labor in the lead-up to the 2022 FIFA World Cup, is now undergoing an economic shift. With major infrastructure projects completed, the demand for expat workers, particularly in construction and hospitality, has sharply declined. New government policies are also prioritizing Qatari nationals for jobs, making it harder for Indian workers to renew their work permits. Additionally, the high cost of living in Doha has added another layer of difficulty for expats. Without long-term employment prospects, many Indian workers in Qatar are choosing to return home in search of better opportunities. Kuwait, Kuwaitization and the exodus of foreign workers. Kuwait has implemented the Kuwaitization policy aimed at reducing the number of foreign workers in the country. As a result, Indian workers in sectors like retail, construction, and healthcare are facing job insecurity as companies are pressured to hire local talent instead of foreign professionals. Many Indian expats in Kuwait are also struggling with visa renewal issues, as the government tightens its immigration rules. With rising living costs and fewer job opportunities, returning to India is becoming the most logical choice for many. Saudi Arabia, the impact of Saudization. Saudi Arabia's Saudization policy is reshaping its job market, placing a strong emphasis on hiring Saudi nationals over foreign workers. This shift is particularly affecting Indian workers in retail, hospitality, and construction, where job security is now more uncertain than ever. Stricter visa renewal processes and an increase in the cost of living are additional factors making life harder for Indian expats. While Saudi Arabia remains an economic powerhouse, the lack of long-term stability for foreign workers is pushing many to leave in search of better career prospects in India. Australia, stricter immigration, higher living costs. Australia, once a top destination for Indian professionals, is becoming less accessible due to stricter immigration policies. The government has introduced higher income requirements for work visas and reduced pathways to permanent residency, making it difficult for Indians to secure long-term employment. In addition, the cost of living in cities like Sydney and Melbourne has increased significantly, making it hard for newcomers to sustain a comfortable life. With job competition growing and India's economy booming, many Indian professionals are choosing to return home for better prospects. Canada, the PR backlog and rising competition. Canada, long favored by Indian migrants, is now facing an oversaturation of permanent residency applications. The backlog in the express entry system has left many Indian professionals in limbo, with long waiting periods and uncertainty about their immigration status. Coupled with rising living costs and high taxes, many Indian workers are finding that life in Canada is becoming more challenging. As the job market becomes increasingly competitive, many are choosing to return to India, where salaries in tech, finance, and healthcare are becoming just as lucrative. United Kingdom, a post-Brexit reality. Since Brexit, the UK government has tightened immigration rules, making it harder for Indian professionals to obtain work visas. New restrictions on family reunification, visa renewals, and permanent residency pathways have created uncertainty for many Indian migrants. Additionally, rising anti-immigrant sentiment and increasing living costs in cities like London make it difficult for Indian families to settle comfortably. Given these challenges, many are opting to return to India, where career opportunities and economic stability are more promising. United States, the dream that's slipping away. The United States, long seen as the ultimate destination for Indian professionals, is becoming a tougher place to settle. The H-1B visa process is more competitive than ever, and green card backlogs have left many Indian workers in limbo for years. Despite some policy shifts, the US job market is prioritizing local workers, making it harder for foreign nationals to secure long-term employment. Combined with rising anti-immigrant sentiment and strict visa regulations, many Indians are choosing to return home, where career prospects in technology, engineering, and finance are flourishing. A shift in global migration. The world is changing, and for many Indian expats, the challenges of staying abroad now outweigh the benefits. With rising living costs, stricter immigration laws, and shifting economic landscapes, countries that once welcomed Indian talent are now making it harder to stay. However, as doors close abroad, India's economy is booming, offering new opportunities. For many, returning home in 2025 isn't just a necessity, it's a fresh start.